Today I'm going to talk a bit about Kollector and dealing with online tactics, right? So we have Liu Kang here. The first thing I want to show off is his back 2, this 10 frame mid. Like in the start I didn't use this for much because it doesn't combo into Bola. So you can get Sickle for a nice 18%, or you can amplify it. Oops. For 22%, but it's not great. But I've been using it a bit more recently to deal with people who like mashing pokes. So I'll show you an example. So this is Liu Kang mashing his down 1, oops. And it's a pretty easy hit confirm for the 18%, oops. So I kind of like using that for dealing with people who like poking, and especially people who like poking on minus frames. Not only down 1, but like jacks doing their forward 3-3 into the grab. Forward 3-3, 1+3 I think it is. And then poking directly afterwards. You can usually catch them with this. And if they block it, you're not like safe at -8, but the pushback is gonna make it virtually impossible for anyone to punish you with anything. I don't think you can be punished, and if it is, it won't be substantial. I guess Rajin Raiden could punish you, but you know, there's nothing substantial you're gonna suffer from doing this. So yeah, this one I've found is really good. I wish you could full combo it, but the Bola is too slow. But it's something. It's not like a Cassie Cage hit confirmable 9 frame mid, but you know, it's something. The thing about this is that it could be super great if that was consistent. It works against some characters for a nice meterless punish. Oops. There we go. In the corner it works. You get 19% instead, but I generally just use the sickle, which apparently doesn't work in the corner against Liu Kang. There's so many inconsistencies. Poor Kollector. But yeah, that's one tactic I like using. Another one is post knockdown. Especially shoutouts to all the Kung Lao players. People love jumping and wake up. That's really hard for Kollector to deal with, because this one will usually hit them out of the air and you won't get a full combo. It's super annoying. So like if I put him on what am I doing? Jump. There we go. So say I get a sickle knockdown, I either dash up, do back 3, which is not the best, but it has some uses. You can do something like dash up, oops, dash up, back 3 into amplified Bola, but that will usually drop if they actually get the jump. Let's see if I can get it this time. There, it worked out, but it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Works at times, but the good thing about this is that it pulls him back and it hits really high. So even if, depending on your knockdown, say you get another type of knockdown, you can go for that. Into, if they try to jump forward, you will catch them. If they try to move forward, you will catch them. So it's kind of good. But I prefer the standing 2 string. Oops. This one is a bit annoying at times to input. There we go. That string. And that is because it has a really high hitbox. So it will catch jumps rather easily. And you get a full combo. If they're pressing buttons, you get the crushing blow. And if they decide to block, Well, aren't you supposed to be... There we go. Sorry. If they decide to block, you're -3. And depending on the spacing, you can sometimes get a down 3 afterwards or down 1 and sort of harass them with that. And you can input the whole string without the last hit coming out. So that's kind of cool. And as I said, there's a crushing blow to it, and it has a really high hitbox. So like if I set Liu Kang to jump forward, you can see it will hit him really high up in the air. And that goes into my next point, which is his... God, I'm confused today. His anti-airs. Like, Kollector doesn't have the best anti-airs, especially not for dealing with like crossovers. I'm still exploring this a bit, but for the sake of this video, I will say his down 2 is okay, but has a weird hitbox. Well, sometimes they will sort of... You can see his arms have a specific sort of angle to them, so it will sometimes whiff. But his standing 2, especially for jump-ins, is great. You can do standing 2 into Bola, get the full combo. If they do a jump-in attack, you will get the crushing blow from standing 2 into this. So that's one I'll use, or the down 2. Other than that, I don't think his what's it called? His anti-airs are great. Okay, so dealing with opponents who like doing unsafe stuff and then doing down 2. I find that if you mistime your 1-3, you get full combo punished because that is super unsafe, or you just get down 2'd out of your standing 1. I like doing back 2-3 for a combo, as I mentioned before. It's not max damage, and it really depends on what it is. But like, say Sonya's back, the overhead string, that one is -9. So you have to be almost frame perfect for this to work, right? But if you do something like this... What does he have that's unsafe? That probably? Reversal punish with the sickle. That's only 11%. Oops. And you can amplify it, switch sides if you want to for 16%. It's not great, but it works to deter people from doing the same thing over and over, which is unsafe string into down 2. When you try to punish it, you get punished, right? We all know there's some input lag and there's some very strong Wi-Fi warriors. The same goes for things like Liu Kang's forward 4, what's it called? Forward 4, 3, up 3. Like, you can jab him out of this gap. Let's see if I can do it. First try, yay! And you get a full combo, right? 254. That isn't even max damage. But you can make it a lot easier on yourself by doing that, which is a lot less damage. I agree. It's unbreakable damage though, so that's something. And it also stops them from doing things like this, right? Then they get hit. So they can't really abuse that gap the same way they want to. Then they start doing fireballs, which are punishable. They start doing the parry, which you can full combo with your low string. So I like using this as a reversal to keep them on their toes, because as I said, for instance, Sonya's back 1 string, the overhead part, is unsafe, but it's kind of hard to punish. So if you start using that, they'll start going for the low, which is also unsafe. So you're forcing them to commit or to something unsafe that they know you can punish, or they're gonna stop doing it like a stagger, in which case it's not at all as scary. Another thing I like to do versus opponents who refuse to block or like refuse to respect your frames as Kollector is doing a corner combo and ending it, oops, in forward 4. You're plus 18, meaning they have to eat this. They can't jump out of it. They can't do anything. You can also mix them up with a grab, whatever. So like, say you want to keep it unbreakable, you would get 281. With this, you get 216, so you lose 7%. But then they either have to use the grab for 13%, or you reset them with this and get a lot of unbreakable damage. This works sort of mid-screen as well. I use it at times when I know I'm playing someone who's being really disrespectful, because you can dash up and do the forward 1 stab. So you can sort of reset them and go into the same situation and get some nice hefty damage. But as I said, it's not really as effective mid-screen, especially if you're playing someone really laggy. But it works, And of course you can stagger this, say you go for that, you stagger this into whatever, you know. It's the same kind of deal, you know. Oops. So yeah, that's it for this video. That's just some tips and tricks that I've sort of picked up along the way with what's his face, Kollector, on how to deal with like online tactics and online opponents and bad connections. If you have anything else that you want to recommend, please leave that in the comments, and I'll see you next time.